I'm inspired by my care team at CHIO.
We're inspired by CHIO's kids.
It helps to have better quality of life.
Hello, welcome. My name is Alesha Derksen, and it's very windy in my backyard right now. Thank you so much for joining me for practice today and for all of the support for the children and families of CHIO. Thank you for your generous donations and your time. If you would like to join me on your mat, we will get started with practice. So you can just make your way down onto your back. Any comfortable shape here that feels good for you right away. Allow you to take your arms to reach up over your head and then just soften your elbows down. You can start to create some space around your collarbones, your chest. Start with a few really deep breaths. In and out through your nose. Start to switch. The busyness of your day, all of the doing and moving. Take a moment here just to be still. Every breath that you take is on purpose. Every breath is right to the bottom of your lungs. Completely with every one more, just like that. Actively reach your arms back and stretch your toes forward. Take the whole body inhale. And a big exhale, just scoop up your knees, bringing them in towards you. Give yourself a rock on your low back. Bring your hands behind the back of your head. Elbows will open up nice and wide. Take an inhale, lift your head and shoulders up. Bring your knees so that they stack directly over your hips, and then see if you can press your low back down actively. Again, take an inhale, lift the heart. As you exhale, twist towards the right. Try not to bring the right knee in. Instead, lift the left elbow higher and pick up your right shoulder blade. Send your left leg forward. It's just going to hover above the ground. Stay active. Try not to tip to one side. Lift up a little higher and then kick your right leg up towards the side. And take both hands just to the outside of your right thigh. And then little pulses. Inhale, lift, lift, lift. Two more. And now lift and hold. And then we're slowly going to lift the left leg just towards the right leg. Got it. And then it's the left leg that lowers. Nothing else in the body is changing at this point. Keep that right shoulder blade lifting. You have 4 more. Left leg up, left leg down. Stay with the breath. That's 3. 2. And last one here. Take that left leg forward, hover and pull your right knee in towards you. Relax everything down. And every breath serves a purpose. And in this point in time, think about using your breath to reopen that space through your core. So all of those muscles that were just working so hard, could you use your breath again to expand into your belly? Exhale to empty and soften. One more inhale. Take your right arm out to the side and glide your knee across into a twist as you exhale. And even against the resistance of the twist, keep your breath moving to its fullest capacity every come back to the middle, take a breath, and pull the left knee in as well. And little rock on the low back. And we're going for round 2, hands behind the head. Lift your head and shoulders up. Pull the low belly down and then stack your knees over your hips. Inhale. Twist to the left side as you exhale. From here, again, it's not knees to elbows, but it's elbow up towards the knee. Send your right leg forward. So that's just gonna hover. Kick the left leg up towards the sky and then reach your arms to the outside of that thigh. This alone should feel like a lot of work. We're gonna keep pulsing here, left shoulder blade higher. 3, 2, 1. Lift and hold. Woo. And then it's the right leg lifting up, lowering down. Lift and lower. This is an isolated movement. Nothing else is moving. Then last 3. 2. And 1. Leg comes forward. Pull the left knee in. Relax back down. Good. Use your breath. Move into the belly again. Inhale to fill. Left arm open wide. Take your knee across to the right. Come back into the middle. Both knees hug in. And then lift your head and shoulders. Give yourself a little rock forward and back. We're going to make our way up onto hands and knees. So you're facing the top of your mat. Spread open your fingers and right away drop your belly down. Take an inhale, lift your heart up. And then exhale, reverse that movement, push into the ground, rounding, lifting the back of your heart. Keep moving, follow your breath. And then start to add in some intuitive movement. So other shapes that might feel good to make. This might be you're swaying your hips, you're stretching out into the sides of your ribs, maybe rolling your neck. Tip your hips up high, and then crawl your arms forward in front. So it's going to be like a puppy pose, but don't drop your head all the way down. We're going to stay lifted. The right arm threads under, reaching to the left side. Tuck your chin and feel that length down the back of your neck as you soften your right side temple to the earth. Take your left fingertips and walk them forward. You have this long line down the left side, and then roll your left shoulder blade back. Actively start to anchor yourself through the outer right arm. Your options are to stay as you are, or if you want to play a little bit here, we're going to tuck under those left toes and see if you can slide them back towards the back of your mat. And this might be where you stay. One more option, again, just for fun, and this will probably test our balance. That left leg might start to lift. Keep the toes pointing down, engage your core. Push down into the outer right arm, take an inhale. Exhale, knees side by side. Good, left hand down. Breathe in, stretch your right arm up. Open the heart for a twist and circle your top arm forward. Exhale back to the earth. Okay, crawl forward again. Heart bows, but don't drop your head. Left arm threads under. Palm is facing up as you reach to the right. Tuck your chin. There's lots of length in the back of your neck. Right arm keeps reaching forward. Lots of length through the right side. And maybe, again, we're going to continue that line. Right toes could slide to the back. The counterbalance here is that left arm pushing down. Option, floating, right toes up, reaching the heel back, squeezing into the bum of that lifting leg. Take an inhale. And knees side by side as you exhale. Right hand down, push, lift the left arm up, open for a twist, expand your chest. Circle forward, exhale down. Push into the ground and round into your upper back, tuck under your toes, and hover your knees. Your spine is at neutral here. Sway your heels to the right, and your knees are going to point to the left. So the upper body doesn't change, just the lower half. Come back into the middle, breathe in. And then sway your heels to the left side, knees point to the right side. Let's keep going. Center, knees to the left. Center, knees to the right. As you come back through the center, we're going to again sway the heels to the right. Now this time you have an option. That right foot is going to kick out to the side, maybe to tap with the left hand. Come back to center. Again, sway. Left foot kicks to the right, tap the toe. Let's try one more each side so you get a chance to get that movement in your body. Kick. Back to center and then downward facing dog, hips up high. Lengthen out your spine. Walk your feet wide. Pinkies right to the edges of your mat. Walk your hands back and take a soft forward fold. Your right hand reaches across for the left ankle. Your left hand goes through that space between your right arm and left leg as you reach across for the opposite ankle. Now pull the hands apart and then look under your right arm. See if you can find some length and some space as you twist. Release your right hand and then thread it under as you again come to the other side, and then we're twisting the chest in the opposite direction. Try it a couple more times on your own. And it's not super important that the head goes under or that you can peek all the way around. What I want you to focus on here is just the length down the side as you gently pull the hands towards each other and the elbows apart. Come back to the middle. Feet come towards each other, hip distance apart. Take an inhale, halfway lift, look forward, flat back. Exhale, bow forward, release. Come to stand, big inhale, circle your arms up high. And exhale, hands meet in prayer. Again, all the way up, deep breath in. All the way down, full breath out. Halfway, inhale. Bow forward, exhale. Up to stand, breathing in, reaching up. Hands meet at heart. Keep moving, follow your breath up and right back down. Forward fold. One more, inhale. Back to heart. Last time, reaching up. Exhale, folding down. Lift halfway, folding into yourself. Hands reach back, and we're going to sweep the earth in front as you sit your hips down low, arms up high, chair pose. Reach your hands in front of your heart. The weight is back in your heels. The heart is lifted towards your thumbs. Take a breath. Exhale, twist to your right. Left elbow to that right knee or thigh. Check in with the knees. Make sure they're still side by side. That means the hips haven't shifted. This is moving from the upper body. Come to center. Again, inhale. And rotate to the left side. Exhale. Holding here. Gaze down. Good indicator that, again, hips haven't moved. Take a breath. Let's come back to center. And exhale, forward fold. Let that go. Halfway up. Crawl forward. You're in a plank. Your option here is to stay or set your knees down as you look forward and lower all the way to your belly. When you arrive, take your right arm out to the side. So that arm is going to go wide at about 90 degrees from your body. It might come up a little higher. And then left fingertips are going to help you to press and roll just onto your right outer hip. So that arm is directly out to the side, and we're feeling this nice stretch right across the front of your chest. Actively push down into that right palm. And then relax and soften. Stay here. One more option is to take the left arm and circle it around behind you. So maybe the back of that left hand meets the small of your back. Breathing in to fill up your heart space. Breathing out. Come back to the middle, slow. And we're switching to the other side, left arm wide, left side temple down, rolling onto your left outer hip. Your legs can do whatever works, whatever feels good. If you have sensitivities in your low back, you can bring your knees closer towards your body, like a fetal pose. If you want to continue that twist, you might step your right foot in behind you. And press down into the left arm. Good, so that's an active, dynamic stretch. Take a breath. And then relax. Sink into that new space. Take your right arm, maybe, reaching around behind you. Feel the shoulder blades hugging closer together on your upper back. And the breath stays full into your chest. That back to center. Legs to the back of your mat. Fingertips wide to the sides. Lift your elbows to the sky. As you wrap your shoulder blades back, squeeze your bum and then float your heart up. Cobra as you lift and lengthen through your neck. Shoulders draw down and back. Bow forward, release. Let's do that 2 more times. Like a wave, breathe in, float the heart up. Breathe out, bow back down. 1 more. Hands under shoulders. Press your body up to find your table. Tuck under your toes and lift up and back, downward facing dog. Spreading out your fingers, feel a really solid foundation here. Spine is always going to be your first priority. That length from the crown of your head right to the tailbone. Bend your knees if you'd like. That's going to help you to find that length in your spine. Let's set your big toes together. And inhale, your right leg lifts up and back. Keep your hips square. Those right toes stay pointing down. You can even take a peek back just to check. Now keep your lifting leg long. Bend your standing leg and see if you can press your chest back towards the thigh. Get a little bit longer, lift your right leg higher. Take an inhale. As you exhale, bring your right knee into your nose and step forward just between your hands. So if it doesn't get very far, you can actually use your hand and just help out that foot. Set your back knee down. Take whatever support you need for that back knee. And then breathe in, arms sweep forward and up. Low lunge. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Lift out of the left side and then reach over to the right. Side bend. Long as you can get down that left side. Come back to center, both arms up high. And then turn, twisting right. Left arm is forward, right arm reaches to the back. And rotating around the axis of the spine, lower body doesn't change. Lower your back hand down, reach your top arm high. Getting again longer down that left side. Tip forward, left hand meets the mat. Breathe in, pick up your back knee and reach your right arm up high. Stack your shoulders for an easy twist. Imagine that you could lean back. Lean away from your front thigh, right hand might reach towards the back. And then spring back up, set your right hand down on the inside, and turn all the way around to face the back of your mat. We're not here for long. We're gonna set the right knee down. From here, the left leg straightens out into half splits. Instead of rounding your spine forward, could you pull your heart forward and maintain that length? Come up onto your fingertips. Curl your left toes back, and then turn your left toes out to the left side. As you do that, we're going to swing the hips over to the right side so that you can feel that pull moving down the outer border of the left leg. Come back to the middle. And again, shift the hips right, toes point left. One more. Nice, back to middle. Come forward and bend into your front knee. Right hand lands. Take your left arm up towards the sky, easy twist. Pick up that back knee, lean your top shoulder back, and then lean back, reach back, left fingertips. Circle back forward, hand down. You're turning all the way around to the top of your mat. As you come to the top, check the alignment of your feet. They are on separate tracks here. Sweep your arms up, crescent lunge. Soften into your back knee and add in a couple small pulses, little bounces to lift and lower. Set your eyes on one spot in front of you and make sure that right foot is steady, stable, and grounded. Pull your left knee up to your chest. You're gonna come all the way up to lift. Inhale. Standing twist, rotate left. Good. Lower body doesn't change. Lift and twist from the upper body. Take another breath. And then we're stepping it back, warrior two. Check the alignment of your feet. Heel in front lines up with the arch of the back. Soft shoulders, but really energized hands. Straighten out your front leg, flip your palm, and then lean to the back. Stretch out your right side. Come back up to the middle. Reach along the horizon, and then tip, triangle pose. Hand just rest on the inside line of that leg, shoulders stacked, gaze up. Turn your gaze down and bend into your front knee. Hands land on the inside. Pivot to the ball of the back foot, and then step your right foot to the back. Either downward facing dog or lower to your belly, maybe one cobra. And we'll all meet back in down dog. Take a breath in. The breath all the way out. Inhale, your left leg lifts up and back. Keep that lifted leg long, bend into your right knee, which is the standing leg, and press the heel up a little higher. Exhale, bring your knee in towards your chest, lean forward and step forward between your hands. Set your right knee down. Again, whatever support you might need there. And then the arms sweep forward, rise up, low lunge. Left hand to the left hip. Big side stretch, reaching over, lengthening out the right side of your ribs and waist. Inhale up to the middle, both arms reach. Turn and twist, face the left. Take your back hand to lower down. Top arm reaches overhead, getting longer. Tip forward and take your right hand to the mat. Left arm to the sky. Pick up your back knee, charging. Lean back. Reach back. And then big circle forward. Hand down on the inside. Turn all the way around to face your right foot. And soften the left knee down. Straighten out that right leg in front. Checking in with the spine, lots of length. Turn your right toes to the right side and swing your hips over to the left side. A couple more little shifts. Gentle pull, little tuck of that right hip back. Come forward, bend into your front knee, land the left hand, reach your right arm. Leaning back, reaching back, big side stretch. Hand down. And pivot around. Back to the top of your mat. Left foot stays. Right foot is just slightly off to the side, so think train tracks. Reaching forward, inhale up. Crescent lunge, soften into the back knee. And we're gonna set our gaze on one spot because our next pose is a balance pose. Couple bounces to prepare and then slow motion right knee lift. Exhale, twist to the right. Crown of the head reaches up. Take that left arm, reaches back. Keep the same shape with the arms. Bend into the standing leg and into big step back to warrior two. Take your time to adjust as you need. Sink down into your hips. That back leg is nice and straight and strong. Straighten out the left leg as well. Flip your front palm and reach up and back. Come back up to parallel. Arms come along the horizon first. You'll feel that little shift in your hips. And then triangle pose as you tip. Stack your shoulders, maybe gaze up. Bend into your front knee. Side angle. Option maybe to wrap that top hand around to the small of your back. Heart stays open, chest stays lifting. And then look down and set both hands down as you step back for downward dog. Option to come forward to your plank and move through a flow. Your choice, it's either up dog, maybe cobra. Down dog. And take your right leg back to the sky, breathe in. And into the lifting leg, breathe out. Open hips. Coming under, setting up for a pigeon pose. So there's a couple variations here. The first option is going to be right knee just behind the right wrist, and that left leg can stretch back as much as possible here. Second option, if for whatever reason the knee or the hip isn't loving your pigeon, this is going to be a more accessible option for all. 90 and 90 degrees in the back. Lift your heart, turn your chest forward, and then softly fold. Seeking out some sensation in that outer right hip. 3 more long, slow breaths. The chest come back to center. Get your hands behind you and shift your knees up to the middle. The knees will be nice and wide. We're just going to take a little windshield wiper to the other side and then turn your gaze to look in the opposite direction as your knees. To the middle and twist. And then the next time your knees drop to the back of your mat, we're going to come into that 90-90 on the other side. Could also be your pigeon. Up to you here. You're either on that left outer hip or the heels tucking in. And we are bowing forward. Notice where your energy is being looped. Notice you are fidgeting or moving or looking around. Helping call that energy back to yourself, back into what you are doing right here, right now. Maybe that's just softening your gaze. That's allowing yourself just a couple more breaths here in stillness. Committing to that stillness. So important that we are able to make that shift. Doing, just simply doing. Three more deep breaths. Lift your heart. You're rolling to that left outer hip. Hands come in behind you. Bend your back knee and your windshield wiper and shins a couple times. Looking in the opposite direction of the knees. Face the top of your mat. Set your heels at the top corners. Bend your knees and give yourself lots of space behind you. Arms reach forward. We're going to C-curve the spine. So the tailbone scoops under. Keep the feet where they are and very mindfully articulate all the way down, one bone at a time. You're going to slow down right here. That part when you want to speed up. Stretch it out. You get to the bottom. Big inhale, reach. Walk your heels left. And cross your right ankle up and over. Bend your elbows and catch a hold of that right elbow. Tip over to the left side so you have this C curve in your spine like a crescent moon. middle. Switch which forearm is on top and then walk your heels right. Left ankle up and over. And that same length, that same space, left side. Back to the middle. Up your body, take up space. Shoulder blades wrap back. Press into the heels and lift your hips just to scoop the tailbone under and feel your low back lengthen. Self arrive in stillness. For all of the moving and doing and the busyness of our flow, powerful practice. Self permission just to simply be still, to be soft, be receptive. Job in this moment right now is to breathe. Stay as long as you can today. Your body, mind, your nervous system, that chance to relax. This gratitude to you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the support. Namaste. Thank you. If you would like to practice with me more, I host these classes on Zoom every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can find my information in my bio or on my website at aleshaderksen.com or connect on Instagram. I would love to hear what you think of this class. That's Alesha Derksen. Next time, bye.